It's time for the PlayAction Sports Report with Tim Lambert. School, travel, youth, and amateur sports from Athens and Limestone County. Interviews, results, and more. Don't go away. The PlayAction Sports Report is next.
One of the worst feelings you can have is that of being stranded. Well, BT's Towing, Tire, and Truck Repair makes that a thing of the past, with 24/7 towing services and roadside assistance in the northern Alabama and southern Tennessee areas. But that's not all. They also offer truck and trailer repair, mobile welding, brake service and repair, new and used tires, and other major and minor repairs. Their name says it all, BT's Towing, Tire, and Truck Repair. For 24/7 response, call 497-8234. That's 497-8234. BT's Towing, Tire, and Truck Repair.
Athens Utilities comprises Athens Electric, Athens Gas, and Athens Water Services. Together, we are committed to providing reliable and affordable electricity, natural gas, and water and wastewater services. We operate as part of the City of Athens, and just like our city's motto of Athens is classic, Southern character, we believe in supporting what makes our community special. And that includes Athens and Limestone County sports. Call 233-8750, come by the office at 508 South Jefferson Street, or look for the link online at athensal.us.
Welcome back to another Play Action Sports Report. Our special guest this week is a guy that folks here in Limestone County know as their probate judge, but they might not know he had another role back in the day. It's Charles Woodruff, and we'll find out about his previous life a little later on. We've also got the On Deck segment coming up with local sports announcements. For now, let's look at the BT Backtrack, brought to you by BT's Towing, Tire, and Truck Repair.
Backtrack.
East Limestone girls head soccer coach Max Norman is stepping down from his position. JV coach Katie Carr will be taking over the helm. Ardmore also gained a new softball coach. Cherish Hamner comes to the Lady Tigers from Tuscaloosa County High School, where she was assistant volleyball and softball coach. At the recent Alabama A&M 5K, Ardmore's Jude Seibert won the 15 to 19 males age group and finished third overall. Ada Seibert came in second in females 10 to 14. Carrie Seibert was third in females 40 to 49. Karen Mitchell of Athens was third in females 60 to 69. The 16U Southern Vortex won their division at the Tri-State Summer Exposure Softball Tournament over this past weekend. At the USSSA North State Tournament, the Shockers 11 were third in their 12C division. Southern Vortex Ham finished third in their 8C division.
PASnetwork.net is your gateway to school, travel, youth, and amateur sports from PlayAction Sports, along with Calhoun Basketball, James Clemens Sports, and Applebee's Tailgate Talk from PAS Plus. The PlayAction Sports Report will be right back.
The PlayAction Sports Report.
One of the worst feelings you can have is that of being stranded. Well, BT's Towing, Tire, and Truck Repair makes that a thing of the past, with 24/7 towing services and roadside assistance in the northern Alabama and southern Tennessee areas. But that's not all. They also offer truck and trailer repair, mobile welding, brake service and repair, new and used tires, and other major and minor repairs. Their name says it all, BT's Towing, Tire, and Truck Repair. For 24/7 response, call 497-8234. That's 497-8234. BT's Towing, Tire, and Truck Repair. The Bama Zach Memorial Scholarship has been set up to honor the legacy of Bama Zach Green, a huge fan of the Crimson Tide, along with Limestone County sports. The scholarship will go each year to a male and female athlete from Limestone County. Checks should be made out to Bama Zach Memorial Scholarship and can be sent in care of Garth Garris, 13833 Pinnacle Drive, Athens, Alabama, 35613. Donations can also be made in person at First State Bank of the South at 1319 Highway 72 East in Athens. Thank you for showing your support for local athletes by giving to the Bama Zach Memorial Scholarship.
Takes the snap. He's going to roll out to the far side. He's going to throw it off his back foot deep. He's got a man. Touchdown! James Clemens!
Be listening for James Clemens High School football this coming season as the Jets take on the best in Class 7A competition. You can hear every featured game streamed live online at PASnetwork.net on your Amazon Echo device or on your PlayAction Sports app and later on demand. You can also hear the replays Sunday afternoons on WKAC Radio. Join us for exciting coverage of James Clemens Jets football this coming season from PlayAction Sports. On this week's Athens Utilities Special Guest Spotlight, we feature Limestone County Probate Judge Charles Woodruff, who had a different role in the sports world before his current job.
Go back and tell us what you used to do back in the day before you got back and decided you wanted to be a lawyer again and now a judge. But tell us what you used to do for the SEC.
Well, I used to have people tell me I got paid to do what people pay to do, meaning I had a job right out of college at the Southeastern Conference office after having worked in the sports information office at Auburn as an undergrad, which is kind of the public relations arm of the athletic department. I made some contacts and was able to go to Birmingham and work in the meeting relations office at the Southeastern Conference for 5 years following undergrad, and just was a fun job dealing with the media, guys like you, back then there weren't as many call-in radio shows, there wasn't Facebook, there wasn't Twitter, there wasn't all of that, it was still teleconferences and statistics and getting your credentials for the tournament or for whatever the various championships were, and just going to basketball games through the winter, going to football games, and going to all the other sports that the SEC has, 21 now, I think, and the SEC's tradition is just incredible, not just in football, but in all sports.
You know, the women, and I know this has probably changed a whole lot since when you were there. How has that changed? Have you seen from the time you were there to now how the women's sports is, elevated?
The women's sports, the SEC was always good, but like so many of the men's sports, they've taken it to another level. I mean, people want to talk about in football the Auburn-Alabama rivalries, that kind of thing. Alabama-Georgia gymnastics with Sarah Patterson and Suzanne Yocklin. Yes. I've loved the SEC network coming on there and being able to tell a lot of those stories. That's one of their 30-on-30 stories, to tell that rivalry of Alabama and Georgia gymnastics, to tell the run that Arkansas has had in track through the years, and LSU women's track, and Georgia and Alabama alternating national championships in gymnastics. Florida won 2 in a row. Tennessee was kind of the standard in women's basketball through the years there, but you've also had, South Carolina's had a heck of a run. LSU's had great success in various sports across the way. Their baseball used to kind of be the standard. Yeah. Mississippi State had the tradition. You've had them run strings and swimming national championships. It's amazing when you look across the board. It's been that way year in and year out. It's unbelievable.
One thing about that's a great thing to take it up, but then if you as a competing university don't step up
yeah,
exactly,
yeah.
then next thing you know, within a year you're behind the 8 ball.
That's why so many coaches are getting fired now, because they're not. If you don't step it up, you get left behind.
You can be number 8 in the nation, but you might be 3rd or 4th in the SEC.
Exactly, right.
Because there's that many above you that are achieving to that level and exceeding or meeting those expectations year in and year out. That's what makes college athletics so great, is any given day when you line up or tip it off or whatever the case may be, anybody can win, just like we see in this madness of the conference tournaments and NCAA tournaments. That's the excitement and the passion that makes college athletics what it is. I mean, in the NFL, when the season starts, you got an idea that there's 3 or 4 teams that got an odds-on favorite to get to the Super Bowl. The NBA is kind of the same way. Major League Baseball, well, they don't have any pitching back. But in college, a surprise player, a break here, a break there, it can be magical for anybody at any time.
It sure can, and it's so much fun to watch.
Hey, Charles, he said the greatest time in the world he had was those 5 years you were there, because he got in all those free events, and the saddest time when you told him you were going back to be a lawyer.
Todd let his old brain click back. When the SEC tournament first started back in 1979, there was a long break, and it started back in 79. It was in Birmingham for several years, but we were this is 30-something years ago. Todd and some other friends and I went all the way to Lexington, Kentucky.
Yes, we did.
To the SEC basketball
1983, Charles.
And I think Alabama ended up winning that year in 82, I think it was. And it's fun to go and see those events and be able to experience some of those great games. I think for my 5 years at the SEC, from a men's basketball standpoint and overall excitement, without a doubt, the highlight was when the SEC expanded to include Arkansas and South Carolina coming in.
Yeah,
and Kentucky fans are so passionate and so loyal to their basketball team, and they used to flood wherever the SEC tournament would go. Back then, it traveled more than it does now. It's kind of settling in Nashville for the bulk of the next 10 years or so, maybe with a blip here. I think they're going to St. Louis and maybe down to Florida once in the next several years. But that's kind of become the home like Atlanta has for the football championship game. But Arkansas came in, and their fans were as loyal and as passionate as Kentucky fans, and
incredible.
Everybody was expecting a Kentucky Arkansas championship. I think the way the bracket was set up that first year, and the Arkansas fans filled the entire upper levels of the Birmingham Civic Center, and Kentucky was in the lower levels. And you got fans when your team isn't even on the court and your team walks in to sit to watch a game, and it gets so loud, everybody's looking around to see what's going on. And that's the way it was with Kentucky and Arkansas. But anybody that's followed the SEC or kept up with it through the years, that's the year Alabama hit a three-pointer at the buzzer to put Arkansas out, I believe, in the semifinals, like 101 to 100. It was just a wild, great game. That, unfortunately, was also the tournament that Shaquille O'Neal and Bill Brown had some instances, and he got suspended during the tournament and didn't get to play the next day after a situation. But it's the players get excited, the coaches get excited, and it's without a doubt a great week for basketball fans, not just in the SEC, but for all conferences and across the board. Lon Kruger, who's having the run at Oklahoma this year, was at Florida back then.
Sure was.
He was the head coach at Florida back then. So it's something, I'm telling you.
Well, listen, real quick, Charles, before we let you go and everything, following up on what Zach said, it was some of the saddest news, jokingly, when you were like, hey, I'm fixing to go back to law school and follow my dad. Oh, whoa, what are you doing, bud? but anyway.
Well, and the unique thing about that, or the ironic thing about that is I went to law school to be an athletic director. That's why I left the SEC, was I wanted to get to a higher level of doing administrative stuff and all. And then while I was in law school, some opportunities opened up and changes, and that was a long time ago. But I couldn't be happier to be back in Athens and Limestone County, because there's no better place.
And I was just fixing to say, it was obviously the right decision, and me and of course all of us that grew up together, we're just so proud of you, and you're doing just a great job. For those that might be listening, I'm telling you, Charles is going to be one of the best probate judges to ever go down. You're following the footsteps of a guy that was very good, but we're just so proud of you, man. So. Well,
I appreciate it, guys. Appreciate what y'all do to keep people excited and give them an opportunity and an avenue to say what's on their mind and get input and discuss what's probably discussed as much as anything around these parts, sports and politics. And that's probably, the chance to call in and talk with you guys and visit and remember good times and look forward to others and analyze and the bottom line, it all comes down to when they line up and play, you're going to support your team and be the fan that you are and enjoy it, because it's a great hobby and pastime for lots of people.
Thanks, Charles. It's so good talking to you.
All right, guys. Y'all have a great day.
That was Limestone County Probate Judge Charles Woodruff on the phone with Bama Zach Green, Todd Tomerlin, and Tom McClung from back in 2016 on the Athens Utilities Special Guest Spotlight.
The Special Guest Spotlight is brought to you by Athens Utilities.
The PlayAction Sports Report.
Athens Utilities comprises Athens Electric, Athens Gas, and Athens Water Services. Together, we are committed to providing reliable and affordable electricity, natural gas, and water and wastewater services. We operate as part of the City of Athens, and just like our city's motto of Athens is classic, Southern character, we believe in supporting what makes our community special. And that includes Athens and Limestone County sports. Call 233-8750, come by the office at 508 South Jefferson Street, or look for the link online at athensal.us.
One of the worst feelings you can have is that of being stranded. Well, BT's Towing, Tire, and Truck Repair makes that a thing of the past, with 24/7 towing services and roadside assistance in the northern Alabama and southern Tennessee areas. But that's not all. They also offer truck and trailer repair, mobile welding, brake service and repair, new and used tires, and other major and minor repairs. Their name says it all, BT's Towing, Tire, and Truck Repair. For 24/7 response, call 497-8234. That's 497-8234. BT's Towing, Tire, and Truck Repair. School may be out, but you can still enter your nominations for the Applebee's Athlete of the Week over the summer for the upcoming school year. Just go to tailgatetalk.net and fill out the form. While you're there, check out the Tailgate Talk archives and see what you might have missed. That's the Applebee's Neighborhood Athlete of the Week. Enter your nominations today from Applebee's Neighborhood Grill, Tailgate Talk, and 1080 WKAC.
Here's what's on deck.
The Ardmore Tiger Baseball Camp will be June 26th through 29th for 1st through 6th graders. Cost is $50. For more information, email andrew.smith@lcsk12.org. Youth fall sports registrations are going on at the Athens Rec Center. Soccer and flag football continue through July 20th for ages 5 to 12. Cost is $60 for each. Youth baseball and softball registration for ages 5 to 13 go from June 25th through July 25th. Costs for those are $60 each. Elite baseball and softball registration for 8U, 10U, and 12U teams is also going on during that time. Cost for that is $500 per team. For more information, call 233-8740. Lindsay Lane will host a basketball camp July 10th through 12th at the Sandifer Road campus for kindergarten through 8th grades. Cost is $100. Register online at lindsaylanechristianacademy.org/basketball-camp. Calhoun will have baseball skills camps July 11th, 13th, and 18th for various ages. Cost ranges from $60 to $75. For more information, call Coach Cody Gaskill at 306-2840 or email cody.gaskill@calhoun.edu. James Clemens will host a kids bowling camp for 1st through 6th grades July 17th through 19th from 2 to 4 p.m. at Bowl Madison. Cost is $75. You can sign up at jcathletics.net. Athens Bible School will host a softball camp July 21st and 22nd at the softball field behind Athens State. Cost is $75. For more information, contact Coach Jeremy Burns at 206-5732 or email jeremy.burns@athensbibleschool.org. Athens High will have various sports camps this summer. For more information, go online to acs-k12.org/camps. Calhoun Volleyball will have various camps over the summer. For information, go to the Calhoun Athletics Facebook page. The Jets All-In campaign has been set up to help various athletic programs at James Clemens. For more information on donating, go online to jcathletics.net. Various fitness classes are being offered Monday through Saturday at the Athens Rec Center. Call 233-8740 for more information or visit the Parks and Recreation page on the Athens City website at athensal.us. If your sports group or organization has announcements, just email them to playactionsports@hotmail.com.
The Play Action Sports Report.
Looking for t-shirts with just the message you want? They're as close as your computer or mobile device. Just go to daddyoscustomtees.com and look through the selection of designs for the perfect one. Or say just what you want with your very own designer message. Daddy O's Custom Tees features short and long sleeve t-shirts plus sweatshirts, hoodies, aprons, mugs, and even pet apparel. With Daddy O's Custom Tees, you can have it your way, whether you need 1 or 100. Go to daddyoscustomtees.com. That's DADDYOS Custom TEES.com. daddyoscustomtees.com.
Attention high school sports fans, are you an armchair official? You know, the parent or fan who constantly yells at the referees and loves to let everyone know just how bad you think they are. Well, if you think you could do better, then get in the game and prove it. It's time for you to suit up and make the calls where they actually count. Every sport in Alabama needs more officials. Sign up today at highschoolofficials.com.
Shotgun formation. 2 backs in the backfield. He's going to hand it off to the second man through. Touchdown!
Join us this upcoming season for Limestone County football, streamed right to your computer or mobile device on the PlayAction Sports app. You can also hear it on your Amazon Echo by saying, Alexa, open PlayAction Sports. Listen for the replay of select games Sunday afternoons on WKAC and download each game from the archives anytime you want. Also available on all major podcast platforms and in the podcast section of the PlayAction Sports app. Limestone County football from PlayAction Sports.
You've been listening to the PlayAction Sports Report with Tim Lambert. Log on to PASnetwork.net for archives of this show and past shows, along with game streams, and to keep up with what's going on in Limestone County sports. Look for our monthly column in Athens now, available everywhere. Contact us by email at playactionsports@hotmail.com, by sending a message to our Facebook page, or by texting 256-434-1PAS. That's 256-434-1727. Tune in for the PlayAction Sports Update 3 times each weekday on 1080 WKAC, and catch up with us again next week for another edition of the PlayAction Sports Report.